Hello everybody, I am Connor from Black Valley Studios, and today I'm doing a different video, mainly so I can just do a video because I feel like talking about it. So today, I want to do a list video. I'm actually recording 3 tonight, so yeah. Tonight's video, or right now this video is I wanted to get this one out of the way first. Let's just say that I wanted to get this one out of the way first because I have a lot to talk about. This is my top 15 hated characters in the show. in Thomas and Friends. Why 15? I just have there's a lot of bad characters. And I'm mostly counting characters from seasons 1 to 12 as well as some of the movies. Mainly because I haven't watched a lot of the CGI, literally a lot of the CGI show. Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of the CGI shows, so I just know a lot of the characters. So let's get started. I have a few criteria for this list. It's not really criteria, it's just the bottom 5, no, not bottom 5, top 5, I guess, from 15 to number 11, they're characters I kind of enjoy, but they're only on the list because they don't really serve a purpose, if that makes sense. I'll have to explain it when the video goes on, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, before I really jump into the list, I want to give an honorable mention to a character, and that character is Rajiv. I am salty about Rajiv. I do not like him. I'm still salty. The movie, for the Great Race movie, came out, I think 7 years ago, something like that. I think 2016 is when it came out. Holy shit, I am old. That movie came out when I was 13. Like 12 or 13. God damn. The reason I am salty about this is if you've seen the movie, he beats Yong Bao in the, fucking Best Dressed Engine. I'm salty about that. Yong Bao should have won. That's why he's on this list as an honorable mention. Because I am just salty about that one thing. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about him before I go on a whole ass tangent, like I already just did. So, let's get straight to number 15. Coming in at number 15 is going to be Fearless Freddy. Fearless Freddy, to me, is a little bit of a weird character because he didn't really do much. The only thing I really kind of like him for is his design. Being a really big narrow gauge engine. Well, one of the biggest. He's like the British version. I'm not sure if he's American. I'll have to look that up after. But he's like a white version of Stanley from the Railway series. But Freddy, he didn't really do much. I only really enjoyed him in season 12. And that's like the only positive thing I'll say about season 12. Because all the other things I have to say about season 12, whenever I make a video on season 12, it's not going to be positive because it's not a good season, even though I've seen a lot of it. Alright, so yeah, Freddy's at number 15, mainly because I really only like his design. Coming in at number 14 will shock a few people, because usually people put this character with a certain character of the same class. Number 14 is Charlie. Charlie is a very weird character. People like to shit on him a lot. I used to be one of those people, but over time, when I was watching his episodes, the episodes he was in, he actually managed to get a few laughs out of me, because he's a jokester. He's sort of early Philip. He's like the early class clown, if that makes sense. Charlie, the only reason I kind of like him is because some of the jokes crack me up. Sorry for the voice crack. They literally crack me up. Oh my god, I just felt like Charlie for a second. That was awful. And the other reason is because he's purple. Who doesn't like a purple engine? Purple's literally my favorite color, even though I'm wearing red right now. Charlie, I only like him because he's purple, and some of the jokes he makes are kind of funny. So, and he's a Manning Wardle. I love the Manning Wardles. Coming in at number 13 is going to be Carlos of Mexico from The Great Race. Man, they didn't do jack shit with this guy. He only had one line, and that is why I do not like him. They only gave him one line and hardly any screen time. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen the movie in a minute, but I'm pretty sure he was in the Test of Strength with Vinny and Henry. Correct me if I'm wrong. Editor, can you check for me?
Hey, it's me. I'm the editor. He was in season 23, and he was in the best dressed competition.
Thank you. Yeah, they only gave him a couple seconds of screen time and only, I think, one line. So that's really why I do not like him. If they gave him more screen time and more lines throughout the franchise, I don't know if they gave him screen time outside of The Great Race. So if y'all could let me know, I don't know if he has any lines or any form of dialogue outside of The Great Race. Because, like I said, I haven't watched a lot of CGI series. Yeah, that Carlos is number 13 because the lack of screen time and the lack of lines in the movie. Coming in at number 12, it's going to be Norman, mainly for the fact that he is fucking impossible. His concept should be impossible. Why? Dennis's brother. Dennis was the only member of his class. He's literally impossible. The character is literally impossible. That's literally the only reason. I like him more than Dennis, though. I could have put Dennis on this list. Whatever. I do like his colors more than Dennis, and plus Dennis is a lazy piece of shit. Norman, I don't think really got any lines, did he? I don't think he really had dialogue in The Great Race besides the "Will You, Won't You" song, but yeah, I really only like him for his colors, his unibrow, and he's only on here because of the fact he's literally impossible. He should not exist, is what I'm trying to say. He should not exist. Number 11. Number 11 is going to be Mighty Mac. I might get flack for this one. Mighty Mac came out in, I believe, season 10 or 11. Maybe season 9. I'm not too sure. Those 3 seasons, though. I know he did not come out in season 8. But Mighty Mac is a double Fairley, whatever the fuck it is. A purple double Farley engine with Mighty on the front, Mac in the back. Their episode was so weird. I enjoy it, but I really don't enjoy it because of their bickering back and forth, and I know that's really what they're about, but I don't like it. This is weird. The only character I can really stand in that episode would be either Thomas, and I think Mr. Percival was in there. Yeah, he was in there. Mr. Percival. I only enjoy those 2 characters, and that's rare coming from me. I do not like Thomas, which is weird because he's literally the leader of the fandom. Yeah, which is it's really weird. Sorry if you see me looking down. I have my list on my other phone. That's what I'm using this to go off of. Okay, so now we are getting into my personal top 10 least favorite characters, or hated characters, because I do not like these guys at all. Starting with number 10, we're going to go with Kevin the Crane from the Solar Steamworks. Kevin was introduced in Hero of the Rails back in 2013. I never connected with him. I gotta be honest. I never connected with him. I just find myself gritting my teeth every time I see him on screen, because he's really annoying. I mean, his design is all right. His merch is weird, but other than that, I really just don't like him. I get it. There's characters that are klutzes, but Kevin is just on a whole nother level. I do not like him. And he's at number 10, which should say a lot about what's to come. Number 9, I've mentioned him before. Philip. I don't like Philip. Philip, I know, is a few people's fan favorites, or is on some people's favorite lists. I just never really liked him that much, if I'm honest. Philip, the only real time I kind of enjoyed Philip was in The Great Race. Other than that, I really didn't care for him. I did watch a few of the episodes he was in. I didn't care for him. I really don't care for him now. It felt right putting him on this list. Mainly because, I mean, the only real thing he has going for him is his basis. His colors are gross. Whenever I look at him, he just reminds me of, like, a little baby express coach that just, like, thought it was cool, but it's not. He's just fucking weird. Yeah, I don't like Philip. Alright, so number 8 is going to be Flora. Flora is not a good character. I don't care what you say. Flora, she shouldn't be a character in the first place. There's really no room for another steam tram. That's really my main reason. Plus, her, Norman, and a few other characters on this list were solely made for merch. And Flora was, I'm pretty sure, one of the biggest ones. Well, wait till you start. Well, number 1 was also made for merch. Flora hardly had. She only had screen time in the one episode she was in, and then literally never again. Yeah, she's not someone I would try to adapt into an episode, or I would not try to put her in an episode because I just don't like her. If I had my way, I would make Flora a diesel. I wouldn't make her a part of Arlesdale End. I'd probably still make her a part of Arlesdale End. I just wouldn't make her a steam tram because that could lead to a lot of problems in the future. Because, you know, Toby and Flora could fight. I know that's not how Toby is. But, yeah, I just really hate Flora. So, oh man, these next two, I'm gonna get a lot of hate. I don't care though, I'm gonna say it. Alright, so coming in at number 7 is going to be Nia of Africa. Or Kenya, wherever the fuck she's from. I know Kenya's in Africa, but Nia is at number 7. Again, an example of a character that should not exist. Now, I know people have been going batshit crazy over the hate for Nia and Rebecca, but come on, people have the rights to an opinion, and so I'm giving you my opinion. Nia fucking sucks. I've seen the episode she was in. I do not like them. I do not like her. I do not like the fact that they replaced Edward and Henry. I'm pretty sure she replaced Edward. And they made Edward move into Philip's place, man. What the hell? You can't do that. You're literally getting rid of 2 of the best characters on the Steam team, and it sucks. Her design's alright. The fact that she's a narrow gauge engine on standard gauge track is annoying, but what can you really do? I literally have a burning hatred for Nia. And the next character, who, number 6, fucking Rebecca, dude. Rebecca is another character that should not exist. The only thing that she has going for her is her basis, which honestly they should have done some type of like alteration of her original colors, not the bright yellow. Dude, she looks like a traffic sign. Rebecca should not exist. She replaced Henry. I can't get over that. She sucks. Moving on. Alright, now we're in my top 5. Top 5. Alright. Number 5 is going to be Carly the Crane. Carly the Crane was introduced in I believe, season 21, season 22. She was one of the characters that was introduced right along with Nia and Rebecca, I'm pretty sure. From what I remember. Carly is a gantry crane? Correct me if I'm wrong. Just a crane that moves from the base. I think she's some type of gantry crane. Correct me if I'm wrong. Carly, uh, I just never connected. I didn't like her when I saw like the promotional stuff or any of her merch. I don't like her voice. I just don't like anything about her. Like you can't like I get it. Cranky needed help or whatever the hell was going on. But dude, she's like a rat. It's so bad. She's so bad. Not a good character at all. So, all right. Number 4. I'm actually putting 2 characters on here because they both suck. Number 4 is going to be the logging shitholes known as Bash and Dash. Now, Bash and Dash are 2 of the worst characters to come out of the franchise, especially in the specials. They are just so annoying. They're like the worst twin pair I've ever seen. The concept is alright, but the way they executed it is so stupid. The entirety of Misty Island was stupid. Oh, yeah, Bash and Dash. The color scheme is stupid. Just everything about them is so bad. I should also mention this now because I'm 19 minutes into filming. This is just my opinion. These are just my opinions. So, if y'all have anything, if y'all have your characters, then feel free to mention them in the comments. Just don't come for me. If you want to disagree, that's fine, but these are my opinions. Yeah, also, if you're wondering why I didn't include Ferdinand with Bash and Dash, it's because he takes the number 3 spot. Number 3 is Ferdinand. Speak of the devil. Ferdinand is a disappointment of a character. Yeah, Ferdinand is a dumpster fire of a character. If I had the opportunity to go into why I dislike Ferdinand as much as I do, we'd be here for another 3 hours. I hate this character so much. He was honestly my least favorite part, or the most hated part about Misty Island for me. Besides the concept of the movie, it goes Bash Dash, concept of the movie, or just the entirety of the movie, then Ferdinand. That's how bad he is. He doesn't work as a character. He's just there to give his "that's right" line, which is really dumb. Like, he talks like he's a soundboard with only one line of dialogue. I know he has other lines of dialogue. I forgot who he was talking to where he actually said more than "that's right." But I just don't like him. He's so bad. Yeah, if I were here for another 20 minutes, I'd go on more about Ferdinand, but I have 2 more spots to fill, so let's get to the last 2 spots. Coming in at number 2, oof, this is a very hot take. This take might land me my own spot in hell. Which is perfect because I got the Has-Been Hotel hat on. Coming in at number 2, people are gonna send this one user after me. Number 2 is Fergus. Fergus. I noticed I'm putting a lot of purple characters on here. They wasted purple on so many bad characters. And before anyone else says it, he's purple. I don't care if he's dark blue. He's literally purple. When I see he's purple, I might be colorblind, but he's a purplish blue or straight purple. He's not blue. Anyway, let's be civil here. I don't like Fergus because I don't like his concept. Fergus is one of the worst characters to come out of of any classic series character. He's possibly the worst classic series character. I don't care about him at all. His episode sucked. The reason why he ran away sucked. He looks like if Trevor and a Grape had a child. He looks like he wants to murder people. And I'm sorry. How did he not die after getting crushed by the rocks in that one episode with Bill and Ben? Tell me how that makes sense. His cab was literally open, and he's a tiny-ass tank engine. Or not even a tank engine. He's a traction engine. Tell me how the fuck he survived rocks crushing him. Literally crushing him. I hate Fergus, mainly because he doesn't make any sense. He shouldn't have been made. Just shouldn't have been made. Like I said with Ferdinand, if I was here for another 20-30 minutes, I'd have to go on a 2-hour tangent about him. And let's get another honorable mention out of the way. Sailor John. That might be another controversial pick. I do not like Sailor John. Sailor John to me is really, it's what PT Boomer wants to be, if that makes any sense. He's really, to me, he honestly feels like the Riddler of Thomas. He's like that villain. I don't like the Riddler, so he's just goofy. A villain's not supposed to be goofy. The only time where he seemed really threatening was when he was throwing dynamite at Thomas. And that's the only time he was threatening. Other times he was just goofy. He was a goober. You can't be a villain and be a goober at the same time. At least you can't. You can do it. They just didn't mix him well like that. It's just bad. Bad Mattel, whoever was in charge of that. Bad. Right. Now we're going to get to number 1. Number 1 should honestly be obvious because a lot of people hate this character. And I mentioned earlier that this character is the same class as one of the previous characters. So, possibly known as the most hated character in Thomas. And yes, it's a basic number 1 pick, but I'm going to go for it. It's Billy. Number 1 on my list is Billy the orange piece of fucking shit. Billy is such an enraging character. He's so bad. I feel like I'm hitting puberty again just talking about Billy. That sounded fucking weird. Billy is such an irritating character. It's impossible to strangle a locomotive, but if I could, I'd do it to Billy. He was solely made for merch, and he only really had one line of dialogue. It's like, don't tell me what to do. Anytime I hear Michael Brandon, or I think Michael Angelis saying, or anytime I see any rendition of Billy, I get irritated. I literally get irritated. My skin crawls, I get goosebumps, because Billy enrages me so much. There's nothing you can do about the character. You can't do anything about the character, because no matter how much you try and change Billy, he'll always be the worst character to come out of Thomas. From number 2 to number 15, those are all, like, characters I like, so I really don't like, and then there's the Billy tier. Billy is so bad. He's so bad. If I was making a tier list of characters, he'd have his own tier, because that's how garbage he is. Billy, anytime I say his name, I get pissed. He shouldn't have been made. His episode shouldn't have been made. He looks like he needs to go to the dentist. Billy is the worst character to come out of Thomas in the past 20 years. Yeah, that's really my reasoning. He's just awful. So yeah, that was my top 15, 17, whatever it was, list of my hated characters. If you have any agreements, disagreements, thoughts, just let me know. Yeah, so I will go ahead and end the video now. If you like the video, leave some suggestions down below of videos I should do. I already have 2 more being that are gonna be worked on after I film this, which are my top 20 characters and my top 10 favorite songs from the show. So yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know, and I hope you enjoyed. I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.